That brings us to Europe. Like Ukraine, Trump left out the Europeans as well. European leaders are trying to reclaim their place now. They could be making some progress. Next week, Emmanuel Macron and Keir Starmer will travel to Washington, D.C. They are the leaders of France and the UK. So Europe finally has an opening with the US. It has been a difficult week for the bloc. President Macron has hosted 2 emergency meetings in 3 days. The first one happened on Monday. A dozen European leaders participated in the talks, along with the chiefs of NATO and the European Union. Yesterday, Macron gathered a wider group of European nations. Leaders from 18 countries attended. Macron issued a statement afterwards. He said France and its allies are on the same page. They want Ukraine and Europe to be included in any peace talks. Europe has a chance to make its voice heard. The U.S. National Security Advisor has spoken. His name is Mike Waltz. Now, Waltz says that European leaders will have a say in the process. So what could be Europe's ask? Which issues will they push forward? Let's look at Macron's statement from yesterday again. It offers some clues. Let me read out a section for you. Peace must be lasting and accompanied by robust and credible guarantees. The security concerns of Europeans must be taken into account. Macron highlights 3 key issues. First, he wants lasting peace. Any deal with Russia must guarantee a complete end to the war. Second, he calls for credible security guarantees. That's a nod to Zelensky's demands. The Ukrainian president wants security guarantees from the West. This is to deter Russia from striking again. Macron appears to support that. The third issue is about the larger security of Europe and America's role in it. For decades, the US has been Europe's key defense partner. The American nuclear umbrella has shielded the continent. NATO has been its primary shield against Russia. Now Trump's Russia outreach threatens to upend this alliance. Macron has been pushing Europe to take its own path and strengthen its defenses. More European leaders are beginning to support the idea.
Unfortunately, recent developments and this different view of things from the United States now oblige us not only to face the truth, but to move at a very high speed and implement decisions that we have been discussing for a long time, whether we are talking about the establishment of a defense policy that will allow Europe to project deterrent power itself, without being permanently completely dependent on the United States, a crucial issue for our country.
The Greek Prime Minister was referring to Europe's defense spending. He wants the bloc to raise its investment in defense dramatically. That idea is gaining traction. But Macron wants to go a step further. He wants Europe to step up and provide security guarantees to Ukraine. This could even mean sending European troops to Ukraine. On this front, Europe is sharply divided. France, the UK, support the idea of troop deployments, but many European nations oppose it. This includes Spain, Germany, even Denmark. Their leaders say it is premature to discuss troop deployments. Italy's Giorgia Meloni seems to have dismissed the idea entirely. She called it the most complex and least effective option. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has no objections. He says if Europe decides to send troops to Ukraine, he wouldn't stand in the way.
Well, if we have a peace deal, I think having troops over there from the standpoint of Europe, we won't have to put any over there because, we're very far away. But having troops over there would be fine. I would not object to it at all.
Trump may raise this again when he meets Macron and Starmer next week. How will they respond? Can they show a united front? Or will Europe's internal divisions be exposed once again? The clock is ticking for Europe to find common ground.
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogon, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically in a month, we have viewers up to 150 million. That's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years, we had 3 billion viewers. So I see, Lohon, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs, and that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model, and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.